Nine Entertainment Chief Executive Mike Sneesby will step down from his role at the end of this month after a tough year for the media company. Nine's profits slumped more than 30% due to a weak advertising market. Its print employees went on strike, and the company launched an investigation into its toxic culture after one of its former employees resigned after being hit with allegations of sexual misconduct. Mr Sneesby's departure comes just 3 months after long-serving chairman Peter Costello was forced to resign after barging into a journalist at Canberra Airport. Mr Sneesby has led Nine for the past 3.5 years, and prior to that was the head of the streaming service Stan. He wrote in an internal note to staff today saying, "This year has been one of the most challenging in my career. In recent months, I've reflected greatly on my plans for the future, and in consultation with my family and those close to me, I made a personal decision to consider new opportunities in 2025. Nine's Chief Financial Officer, Matt Stanton, will become acting CEO on the 1st of October. It'll be his job to present the outcome of that investigation into culture once it's finished in October. Okay, well, let's bring in here Megan Motto, the Chief Executive of the Governance Institute of Australia. Megan, thanks for your time. A tough year for Nine with some big issues for the board to deal with. How does the company really reset from here or start afresh?
I think it's clearly been a really big year for a lot of media houses, actually, and a lot of organisations much more broadly. And it really drives home the fact that culture is such a critical component of corporate governance, of organisational success, and of course, of reputational risk for individuals and the company. And getting culture right is just a critical component. And quite frankly, a lot of boards really struggle with getting culture right because it's not as black and white as a financial analysis. So there are a lot of ways to understand culture, but many of those ways, if you like, are quite intangible. So whether it's walking the halls, as they say, walking the shop floor, but also then there's engagement surveys, a number of other data points, looking at complaints data. And it's really a myriad that the boards of today are getting their head across because they do realise that culture is such a critical component for success or failure.
Well, Nine has a reasonably new chair, Catherine West, and it's looking for a new permanent CEO. With big changes like this at board level, how do you ensure that the business remains focused on its main purpose?
Look, board transition happens often. Leadership transition happens often across organisations. Sometimes that's externally motivated. Sometimes it's internally motivated. These things happen. Good boards should have good succession planning in place, whether that's because they've got a planned succession of a chair or whether it might be for a scenario where a chair might fall aside for things outside of their control, family issues or health issues or anything else. Boards should have clear structures around succession planning. They also should have clear processes and procedures, charters, knowledge management, and also just really good board culture so that other board members can step in and all assist and play different roles for a period of time while you're getting a new chair up to speed. New chairs can be disruptive. They'll often come in with fresh ideas, fresh ways of doing things, a different personality and a different way of running the board and organising how they do their work. But it's really important for organisations that they've got some foundational documentation in place like knowledge management systems, board charters, induction processes, so that those new chairs can get up and running quickly, but also bring the independence of thought, which oftentimes they're brought in to have.
Nine's AGM is going to be in November, along with many other ASX-listed companies. Would boards be getting ready for AGM season right now?
They certainly are. AGM season is always a hot one for boards. Boards have been continually exposed, and that's what the AGM process is designed to do at its core. So it's a chance for shareholders to look at the whites of the eyes, as they say, and ask those tough questions of directors. And directors should be prepared to answer those questions in a frank and fearless way. So,
Megan, I'm sorry, we've run out of time. Thanks for coming on the show.
Welcome, very welcome.